Salutations everyone, Shadow Taurus here bringing you another awesome anime power scaling video. Monkey D. Luffy has achieved a whole new level of power with his Gear 5 transformation that has taken the One Piece world by storm. So to capitalize on the insane hype, I'm making a new video involving putting Luffy in his new form against one of the most fearsome groups in anime, the legendary Akatsuki from Naruto Shippuden. But before we dive in, remember to smash the like button, remember to predict your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to see more fictional crossover battles. For this crossover battle, I'll be using the standard Akatsuki lineup from the anime without any filler characters. And I'll be interpreting both sides at their full power within reasonable highballs to get an optimal power scale. Cause trust me, the Akatsuki's got some pretty good fighters. From powerhouses like Pain to hacks masters like Itachi and Kisame, we'll cover their full arsenal. On Luffy's side, we'll assess the ridiculous power-up Gear 5 provides, from enhanced speed and strength to the new insane rubber abilities he has. I'll provide all the context you need on both universes to evaluate how the shonen franchises stack up against each other. There will be an epic clash between one of the most iconic groups in anime against the protagonist who has the best-selling manga of all time. Their powers, counters, and win cons will be explored in depth to determine if the combined force of the Akatsuki can overcome Luffy's new overwhelming power. So strap in for an intense anime power scaling video, and without further ado, let's jump into this titanic matchup, Luffy's new Gear 5 versus the full might of the Akatsuki. Now let's start with Luffy. As battle-hardened shonen protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy is no pushover when it comes to combat power and physical stats. Though while he's not on the same ridiculous level of heavy hitters like Goku, Luffy has occurred some seriously impressive feats of strength and speed throughout his journey. His most jaw-dropping display of power actually comes from his initial sky-splitting clash with Kaido and Wano. This iconic moment was calculated to a massive 118 petatons of force, easily ranking Luffy into the large to multi-continental range of power, and that's just his base form. Even if you want to argue that Luffy and Kaido contributed equally to that clash, that would just mean that Luffy still has 59 petatons per attack. Luffy's new Gear 5 transformation takes his power to even greater heights. Though we lack a definitive multiplier, lowballing Gear 5 Luffy to moon level does not seem an absurd concept due to his exponential growth. I would argue Gear 5 safely puts Luffy in the moon level ranges for attack potency. That's a fairly good assumption for the basis of this video. Some claim the vague "Whitebeard can destroy the world" statement makes Luffy planetary via power scaling, however I find issue with this. Sengoku's claim appears hyperbolic given Whitebeard is considered the weakest of the Yonko at the time, and when he clashes with Shanks, the gap doesn't appear massive. The consistent multi-continental yields from the top tier's sky splitting is much better for Luffy's progress than some vague planetary statement. In terms of speed, Luffy reaches light speed levels late pre-time skip by scaling to the Pacifista's lasers, and then continues to accelerate his growth exponentially. By Wano base, Luffy has consistently surpassed his previous Gear 4 stage effortlessly, which would conservatively place him at FTL plus to massively FTL, if not maybe higher. In summary, Luffy has progressed to a top tier powerhouse, boasting moon level attack potency and combat speed safely in the FTL plus to MFTL ranges, but how does the Akatsuki fare against him? At first glance, the Akatsuki's power levels seem clear-cut. The guidebook states each duo can take down a Jinchuriki, which is proven multiple times when we see Hidan and Kagsu take down Yugito, or Deidara soloing Gaara. This appears to cleanly scale the Akatsuki to the Jinchuriki and by extension to their tail beasts. The Akatsuki's power levels stem from scaling to the tail beast and the Jinchuriki, but there are two common methods. The first is multi-continental. This is the more conservative approach. Multiple calcs have put Bijou bombs from tail beasts consistently at multi-continental yields. We know that Bijou can withstand their own Bijou bombs, and Jinchuriki should logically scale above the Bijou on its own. Notable examples are Yuki tanking his own Bijou bomb and Kagsu enduring Matatabi's strikes. Since the Akatsuki can overpower Jinchuriki, scaling them to multi-continental AP is a reasonable interpretation, and likely a baseline power level. However, the next one, which is more controversial, is scaling the Akatsuki to planetary. The databooks describe Bijou bombs as capable of splitting the earth, and Kurama being able to turn the world to ash. More telling is the Ten Tails chakra levels are compared to planetoids. Statements like these argue for scaling the Bijou and by extension the Akatsuki to planetary AP. This is a high-end interpretation, but finds justification in the hype statements and the Ten Tails' planetoid chakra comparison. While it is an absolute maximum, it cannot be dismissed outright. It represents the pinnacle of the Akatsuki's potential power if scaling them with the benefit of the doubt. For speed, scaling massively above the light speed Anbu per guidebook statements is consistent for the Akatsuki, safely placing them in the FTL to massively FTL ranges. But then who actually wins this fight? When examining the actual matchup, the Akatsuki holds a critical advantage with their array of genjutsu techniques. Luffy hasn't shown any real resistance to illusions, and his Imagine-based powers in Gear 5 do not guarantee he'll be able to break himself out without knowing what it is. In terms of raw physical stats, arguments can be made that Luffy scales the Akatsuki in speed. However, if we grant the Akatsuki planetary AP as the high-end Biju scaling, Luffy is thoroughly outclassed in strength. Of course, Luffy's unpredictable new abilities provide some counterplay potential, but the Akatsuki's versatile arsenal and battlefield control via Genjutsu will give them the overall edge in my opinion. In summary, the Akatsuki take the victory more times than not through skillful combination of overpowering strength, speed on par with Luffy's, and their signature Genjutsu hacks. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Could Luffy's unpredictability and creativity in Gear 5 turn the tide against the Akatsuki? Who knows? Until we meet again, good luck in your power scaling endeavors.